My name is Jonny, or Jonathan if you're my mother and I'm in trouble, and I'm 25, and I do still get in trouble with my mother.
Tell me a fun fact about yourself.
Oh, what denotes fun? The worst thing I think I've ever done, as a child, was like, oh, chocolate and chili goes well together. So I tried to make a chili hot chocolate, and I thought that Tabasco, like pepper sauce, would be a good alternative. So I put Tabasco sauce in this hot chocolate and then put it in the microwave, and turns out Tabasco sauce curdles milk, and it was the most disgusting thing ever.
You drank it?
I tried to. I didn't drink all of it.
Oh, Jonny!
It was not good. Not good. Don't ever put Tabasco sauce in hot chocolate.
That is disgusting. Legit disgusting. On to the more important bit now.
Yeah.
What's your favourite book or film?
I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. I'm a massive Team Tolkien nerd. Yeah. So maybe The Hobbit is my favourite book, and maybe Lord of the Rings is my favourite film.
Do you want to know a secret?
Yeah.
Never read or seen any of the Lord of the Rings. Why are the Lord of the Rings stories important to you?
I know that this is a critique of them as a fantasy story generally, is that they're really simplistic and that like the good guys win and the bad guys die and none of the characters are ever in real danger. But I think it's much. I think first of all, I think that's a really important narrative. This like battle between good and evil. I think that's really relatable to everyone. Not only do we see it in the world around us, and we hope that good will conquer evil ultimately, but I think a lot of us recognise it in ourselves as well.
So, Jonny, what's your story with God? We'll kick off with, how long have you been a Christian?
I was raised in a Christian household, so kind of as always, as long as I can remember. I was baptised when I was 11. My parents thought it was really important that they didn't baptise me as a baby, and I made that choice for myself. So, yeah, I think that was quite a key milestone. And then I suppose I really started to kind of take ownership of my faith and try to work out what it meant for me as an individual in my later teens. I really started to read the Bible for myself and start to think through like, how do I apply this? What does it mean for me personally? So always, but there's been like developments as well.
So you've sort of answered this already, but was there a moment when you decided to follow Jesus?
Yeah, like interestingly, yes and no. Like obviously that my moment of baptism was a moment where I was deciding to follow Jesus, but I think I decided before then as well. I'm not one of those people with really clear memories of my early childhood, and I've heard a preacher talk about it, how some Christians get really upset that they don't have like a date that on the 13th of February I decided. And I love his analogy where it's like, well, most of us don't remember the day of our birth, but there's evidence to suggest it happened. And similarly, like I don't have a day where I remember, yes, this is, I'm going to commit to following Jesus. But hopefully, in my life, there is evidence to suggest that such a thing happened. I take comfort from that.
What keeps your faith going?
The grace of God. I think what's been really important is the encouragement of other believers. I think worship and Bible reading and prayer are all really crucial, important things. But the reality is there's going to be times when we just don't feel like doing them. And there's certainly times where I do not feel like doing any of those things. And I think in those moments it's really encouraging to have close Christian friends that are sharing what God's doing in their life and what they're excited about and what they're hopeful for. And that really encourages and inspires me to keep pursuing perhaps dreams and hopes that I feel have been slow in being realised.
How are you doing in your relationship with God right now?
I think I'm still doing my best to live out every day this ideal to pursue Jesus and to recognize what he's calling me to do. On a large scale thing, I very much think that is the lens through which I'm trying to make decisions for my life, for my future, is to be pursuing what I think God's calling me to do. But on the day-to-day, it's sometimes harder to work that out, isn't it? Something that I have noticed is that I haven't been reading the Bible very consistently of late. It's important to get back into those rhythms, isn't it? And I think it's important to do that realistically, rather than being like, I've not read the Bible for a while, so I'm going to read 10 chapters a day. It's probably just not going to happen.
Thank you very much, Jonny.
You're welcome.